Hi, I'm Dr. Rick Marshall, a naturopathic physician of 31 years, and I'm very excited to talk to you about the HCG program that's described in the book HCG Slim. So, I've been doing natural medicine for 3 decades, and during this time, I've been looking for natural ways to help people lose weight. And until I found this one about 12 years ago, I'd say there really wasn't anything. Uh, let's talk about weight gain. How do people gain weight? Well, friends and family often tell you that it's because you eat wrong and you don't exercise. And although eating really badly and not exercising at all is the cause of weight gain in a small percentage of people, most people don't do that. Most people are trying and they're looking for ways to keep their weight normal. So what's affecting them? And how many are being affected? Well, it's a large number. The people that are telling you that you don't eat right and exercise are probably overweight themselves, because 80% of Americans are overweight. And 40% are so overweight they are a danger to themselves and considered clinically obese. And another percentage are 100 pounds or more overweight, which is so dangerous, well, we don't even want to talk about it. What about children? Well, children are quite overweight too, about 50%, and the children that are clinically obese comes to about 20%. That's scary. You know, you're just getting started in your life, and 1 out of 5 are already significantly overweight, that it's causing conditions like diabetes, and in adults it ends up causing arthritis and plenty of other problems like heart disease. What is causing this, do you think? Well, okay, so it really goes back to the origins of the Industrial Revolution in the mid-1800s. And during that time, more and more chemicals started to become introduced into the environment, and so they started to affect a piece of tissue in the brain called the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus regulates the appetite and the metabolism. So if those chemicals are downregulating the ability of the hypothalamus to control the appetite and to maintain a good metabolic rate, well, that's a problem. And then there's the fact that we're in a more stressful society than we ever were, aren't we? Okay? And what does stress do? It creates these stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. Now, cortisol you might have heard of. It slows down fat burning. And if it wasn't bad enough, chronic low levels of being in stress that create this higher cortisol level can cause problems with the ability to regulate the immune system. And if the immune system isn't very well regulated, then you're more likely to pick up bacteria. You can have subacute or symptom-free but infections that are going on, overgrowths as well of yeast like Candida, and they produce toxins, and these toxins have names like arabinose and tartaric acid, and they go up into the hypothalamus and dysregulate it so that it doesn't properly manage your metabolism and your appetite. So these are probably the primary reasons why people gain weight. So what's to be done about it? Well, you could go on a diet, and all that a diet does is take fat out of the wrong place. Now let's talk about that. So, where is fat stored? Well, fat is stored inside the muscles at about 90% when you're trim, and 10% is stored outside the muscles. Okay, well, if you have that nice normal 90 to 10 ratio, everything's great. You can't gain weight. You got plenty of fat in your muscles when your body needs it. It's right there, and you don't have very much outside. And your body can't get to that fat outside the muscles, by the way, for up to 60 days. So it takes 2 months on a diet just to even get to where you'd want to lose it. Instead, your body starts to take it first from your muscles as fat, then sugar from your muscles. That's not good. And then eventually it starts to bleed amino acids out of the muscles, and you lose muscle tissue. And this is not the way to do it. Diets do not work. Everybody knows that. Even 10% is still coming out of your muscles if you go on a 10% calorie restriction diet. That's not good. Okay? So with the HCG, you have a different situation. HCG is the only natural substance known to man that causes the body to release it from the secure fat reserves: hips, buttocks, thighs, neck, belly, breasts, arms, and legs. Wow! Now think about that. HCG causes your body to release fat from your hips, buttocks, thighs, neck, belly, breasts, arms, and legs. Exactly where you want to lose it. How exciting is that? There hasn't been anything like that in the history of medicine, and yet this is an old science. This began in the 1920s. Dr. A.T.W. Simeons, you can look him up, he's a medical doctor from England, studied in Germany, ran a clinic for 20 years in Rome, Italy. Patients from all over the world came to him, and during that 20 years, 70% of his patients kept the weight off, and patients were losing about, 3 pounds a week like that or more, and so that's very exciting. So, what can we say more about HCG? Well, it has no side effects. It's non-toxic. Something your body makes. As I said, it's a natural bioidentical hormone. Take a very small amount, but it's about 10 times what you normally make. And your body uses this to open up the fat reserves and have the fat come out of there. Okay. Now, what is the total outcome of this program? Basically, you not only prevent disease, okay? You prevent going into the blood sugar dysregulation that leads to diabetes, the joint problems that develop when there's extra weight on the joints, the heart disease that develops when there's more fat in the arteries. Some of your fat's stored in your arteries too, okay? And you get to avoid the drugs that some doctors will try to talk you into to help you lose weight. And they're stimulants, and they just make the problem worse. They weaken the adrenal glands and the thyroid system, and it's a big problem. Drugs like fen-phen have caused permanent damage in people. They have killed people. Okay? And then you get to avoid the surgeries that some people try to talk you into. Belly banding, stomach stapling, gastric bypass, and then liposuction. You get to avoid that too. All of these things are dangerous. The HCG program is not dangerous. It's safe. It's been used for now 80 years. Okay? I had a friend in my men's group. We used to meet with him regularly, and he was getting very large, and he decided to go ahead and have this belly banding, and within a year, he was dead. He looked a lot better, but he was dead. Okay? So there are side effects, serious side effects to these other methods, and none with the HCG program. And now that you've learned about it, you might want to think long and hard about doing something natural and safe and non-toxic and non-invasive. When you make this purchase, you will get an 80-page book with lots of color, photos, and recipes, instructions on how to do the program, lists of doctors who offer the program for you state by state. Very exciting stuff. I wish you the very best in your life, and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.